Hey guys, it's me, Jess from Stark Skincare, and this is my first video in over a month. As probably many of you know if you follow me on Instagram, I do suggest you do because why the hell not? My mom passed away just over a month ago, and so I've been more or less taking some time off. Not really from social media though, because I find it comforting and kind of fun, and it's also just a place where I like to share and whatever, just kind of vent my feelings from time to time. But I did find it harder to come back on YouTube. But today I was going through some of my old videos. I noticed that I had so many new comments that I hadn't even read yet, and then I just felt a little bit motivated to get back in this community because my YouTube channel is really important to me and it's a fun outlet for me, and you know, my mom wouldn't want me to not be doing the things that I enjoy doing, right? Like our loved ones, none of our loved ones would want that. So for those of you who don't know, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer the summer of 2017. She was given 12 to 18 months to live. She was inoperable. She wouldn't be able to have any curative treatments, and so we knew, you know, that it was a bad prognosis, and so she ended up dying from complications. Basically, she got pneumonia after she started a new chemotherapy treatment. There's just some really bad flu bugs going around this year, and she must have caught one when her immune system was very, very low. We all thought that the symptoms she was having were the symptoms of chemotherapy, of this new chemotherapy she was on. Prior to that, for a while she was on a very low-grade chemo, which worked for the better part of a year until it just didn't work anymore. And then she was on something called Keytruda, which is immunotherapy. It's supposed to be extremely effective for those with lung cancer and a certain type of skin cancer, but only for those who have a certain gene mutation. And we knew my mom didn't have that gene mutation, but it was good to just try out this Keytruda because it's like one of the new, like very innovative cancer therapies that has very high success rates when it does work. And it's very expensive, and we're very lucky here in Canada that the government pays for it. It's $10,000 for every session. So like every time you go and get Keytruda, which is administered the same as chemotherapy, intravenously, you sit there in a chair for like a few hours. It's $10,000. So, you know, we felt fortunate that it was something that we were able to try. It was sort of, we knew it was going to be like one of the last resort type things. Turns out her Keytruda did not work. We found out about 11 days before she passed that the cancer had spread significantly. It was pretty much throughout her body. We found this out when she got back from, I'm just gonna start doing my makeup, and I don't have a mirror, so I'm gonna do it in my viewfinder. We found this out when she had just gotten back from a trip to the Dominican Republic with her best friend. I was very happy that she got to do this trip. My mom loved to travel, and so, you know, that was important to her. That was more important to her than anything, really. Like, she knew it was a risk traveling when, you know, you're so sick, but at the same time, it's like when you know you're dying, like, you just have to do the things you love, right? And so I'm happy that she had that kind of courage to do those things. Sorry guys. Anyways, she when she got back and we found out that it had spread significantly, she was switched chemotherapy types, and it was a much stronger one. She was going to lose all of her hair. She was kind of bummed about, after her first session, she felt really sick, which was, you know, expected. She had crazy nightmares, crazy dreams, and just really hated it. And she said, "Jess, I don't think I want to continue doing this." And I said, "I know." I thought I was ready. I fully forgot to put on my skincare first. Oh well, here we go. We're doing this backwards, you guys. So, this is Everlasting. Need a little hydration. Skin's feeling pretty dry. Yeah, so when she got sick after her first chemo session, we thought that it was the chemo itself. But as it turned out, well, I mean, it could have been, but it was also, she had caught something. And she took her temperature, but her thermometer said that, you know, she didn't have a fever, and you know, she didn't feel well, and she didn't really want me to be hanging out or anything like that. She's just like, ugh, I just feel miserable. And I was like, well, do you want me to drop off some groceries? And she's like, yeah, okay. And she was just craving orange juice, and I brought her over some orange juice. And the next day I went over to just like watch a bit of TV with her because her partner was going to be out meeting his cousin or something. And I went over, and she was lying on the couch, and she really didn't seem well, but she'd also, not only did she have new chemo, and now I'm putting midnight on over my makeup, but whatever. Not only was she on new chemo, but she was on a new painkiller, and so, like, my mom was acting a bit loopy, but it's nothing I'm not used to. I had a pretty loopy mom, and, but I was pretty upset by just sort of the way I saw her that day, and I remember I went home when I was really upset, and I was crying a lot, and the next day I was standing in my bedroom, and I just got overcome with this feeling, and I'm like, I need to go home, I have to go see Mom. And my husband's like, pace yourself, Jess, like, because we knew, like, you know, the time was kind of coming, but we didn't know, is it days, weeks, hours, minutes, like, no idea. And he was like, just pace yourself, like, you know, give them a call, see what's going on, if you feel something's bad. And then literally that moment, my mom's partner called me and said, Jess, I have a problem. Your mom's on the floor. I can't get her up. I rushed over there, and sure enough, there was my mom, like, lying on the floor and in her underwear, which is, like, not my mom at all. And I walked in, and she looked so dehydrated. Like, she looked so much worse than the day before. And she looked up at me, and she goes, oh, hi, Jess. I'm on the floor. And I said, yep, you are, Mom. And you have to remember that she had been refusing to go to the hospital, and like her partner kept on saying, like, we need to go to the hospital, like, since like the night before, like after I'd seen her, because she was just kind of getting worse and worse, and she was refusing. I'm wondering if she kind of knew that would be it, you know. But when I got there and I couldn't lift her, I couldn't move her or anything, she said, okay, it's okay, you can call the ambulance. And we did. We brought her in, and I wanted to make this story shorter. There's so much to this story, but basically when we brought her, it turned out she had pneumonia. Now, pneumonia, whenever you have chemo, when you're on chemo and you have lung cancer, is bad. The doctor didn't seem as all that alarmed, to be honest, but my mom said, pneumonia, that's how they go. This is it for me. And I said, Mom, don't say that. She said, no, that's true. It is. Bye-bye for me. And she died 2 days later. Her pneumonia had spread to her blood. It became sepsis, and she died on Christmas Day. So that was a month ago. It's not getting easier. It's somehow getting worse. I guess just as time goes on, and you know, when someone has stage 4 cancer and they're that sick, part of you is relieved when they go, because you know that the suffering is over. But now that feeling has gone, I'm gonna have some really muddy makeup. Now that feeling has gone, I just miss her. And there's so many stages to grief, right? And I just really miss her now. She was an extremely funny person. She's just gonna be remembered for just being so incredibly funny. And she was cremated, and I have her ashes here, and I'm taking my time to sort of choose the right urn. I didn't want to get an urn from the funeral home because they're just a ripoff, to be honest. They're all like $2,000 and they're like not cute. Like they're just ugly and like really big and weird. I don't know. So like I got a couple little like keepsake urns. I'm gonna give a few out to like her partner, her sister, and maybe her best friend wants to do like a little shrine at her cottage, which is like one of my mom's favorite places. And like I know all the places where she wants her ashes spread, which we can't do until the summer because we're in a deep freeze winter right now. So we're also going to do like her celebration of life in the spring. And I actually found some really nice urns on Etsy that just feel like I decided to look for something that's locally made, and I found a few that are made in Quebec and are really beautiful. You know, they don't necessarily they don't like scream urn, which, I mean, I prefer to have in my home. I think my mom would prefer that, you know, and planning out her celebration of life. It's going to be a crazy party. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be awesome. My mom loved to party. Like, she was just epically fun. I'm like so boring compared to her. So, I mean, that's what she wants. Like, she doesn't want a sad thing, you know? So we're gonna wait. We're gonna do it at my cousin's place. My cousin and her family, like, they lived in Mexico for a really long time. They're like all of my cousin's children and her husband, everyone's Mexican. My mom just had a really close tie to Mexico. She wants some of her ashes in Mexico. She spent every winter there for like the past like over 10 years now. And so yeah, I sort of want to do like a Mexican themed, like, I don't know, just something outdoors in the country, beautiful, like barbecue and, you know, sangrias and boxes of wine and hand out joints to everyone and just have some like rock and roll playing, and because that's what she would want. Yeah, I have a lot to say about death and dying now. It's just something that we don't talk about at all in our culture. There's such thing as actually as death doulas, and I think that that's the most wonderful idea, because as like my mom's best friend was there like while she was dying, and we were saying like how bizarrely similar like the experience of like assisting or being there with someone who's dying is to being there with someone who's giving birth. Like, what a strange comparison, but it just felt very true. Obviously one's a little sadder than the other, but yeah, just like that process of welcoming a life into the world and that process of saying goodbye to a life. And you know, whether it happens at home or the hospital or whatever, there's so much commotion, there's so much happening, even in the silence of these things going on. And then there's this moment of like when it's done and afterwards, and then you kind of resume normal life, you back home or whatever, and you're like, nothing's the same anymore. And that adjustment period over the months, and you know, there's it just like having a baby, there's so many logistics that go with death. And I don't know, it's weird how little we talk about it. And I think like as parent, like I'm not an aging person, I'm not 40 yet, but I have a child and I don't have a will. And like it, you know, it's like this real light bulb moment for my husband and I where we're like, we need wills, like we need to have our shit taken care of, and like something so practical, because my mom, as like much as like a fun party person as I just made her sound, she was also the most practical woman. And she, like when she knew she was getting sick, and even before, she really did this thing that I later realized is called Swedish death cleaning. You think Marie Kondo is hardcore? Try some Swedish death cleaning, where it's like a big process of purging and just getting all of your affairs in order and all your papers in order, because the last thing you want your loved ones to have to go through after your passing is like all of your crap, where they can't find the right paperwork, they can't find all the, and like these are things that have to happen. It's not like you can't wait until you're fully ready to like, you know, have someone's passport canceled, have their driver's license canceled, have, you know, like contact their doctors and their dentists and their car loans and their, you know, like the title of the house and all this stuff as like an estate, like, you know, like the estate of this person like has to be dealt with. And like, okay, that's not, you know, it's just not really talked about in our society. And I know that's just like the practical aspect of like going through grieving, but it really is a big part of it. And the tidier it is, the more you're helping your family grieve. And I don't know, I just think that that's really important. I'm going to actually wear some mascara today. Mascara, as you can imagine, isn't something I've been doing a lot of lately because of obvious reasons. It's not waterproof. Oh, you probably noticed that my eyebrows look very different, and that is because I got them microbladed. It was something my mom and I actually really wanted to do together, but because she was doing chemo and whatnot, she kind of like we always talked about it and didn't do it because like you can't really get them done when you're in chemo. But I got them done about 10 days ago now. A little bit of something going on in there. I haven't had my touch up yet and they're not fully healed, but I love them. I feel like I can wake up and just go, really. I'm getting ready right now to go out for pizza, a little bit of thrift shopping with my boys, and then we're going to parent-teacher interviews. My son is homeschooled, but he goes to a homeschooling co-op, so we're going to meet with his new teacher to just sort of discuss what our, you know, collective learning plans are and just like where he's at with school and all that stuff. So yeah, so this is like my weird get ready with me, talking about death, talking about, you know, my mom's passing. I did just feel like, I'm using my little e.l.f. palette here. I don't know, just saying hi and just telling you guys like where I've been and, you know, what's going on, but also for practical reasons, I can't ignore my YouTube channel for very long because then the algorithms punish me because, yeah, no one gets a break from YouTube. And if I don't consistently put out stuff, then, you know, my channel won't be recommended to anyone and then it just doesn't grow at all. So if you like me, let me know. Leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, you know the drill. Recommend me to your friends. I sound like Eeyore, but you know, I think it's understandable. I'm gonna have to check all my makeup afterwards because I can't really see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, there's a mirror here. Oh, that's not bad. Subtle. Okay. I'm gonna go put my hair up, put on a really warm sweater because it's like minus 6,000 outside. I'm glad my mom didn't have to go through with this winter crap because she hated winter and she wasn't well enough to go to Mexico. So anyways, I do want to talk more about grieving because, like I said, I just don't feel like it's something that we talk enough about. And I want to talk about it in sort of a casual way if it's possible. Like, not that I think there's anything wrong with, you know, the emotions behind this, but I think that there is a level of practicality when it comes to death, and I feel like it's, you know, it's something that we should be able to discuss in a just, you know, in a practical and easy way, especially with aging parents and stuff like that. It's inevitable and it doesn't have to be sad. It doesn't have to be super morose. It's just, you know, it's gonna happen, and it makes things a lot easier for everyone when there's some organization involved. And that was a wonderful wonderful gift that my mother gave me. You know, she just had my inheritance all like set up, all of like her important paperwork all in one spot, everything just divided, everything clear. You know, she did a lot of purging of her stuff. Just honestly, it's a wonderful thing to leave your adult or any age children and loved ones. So I feel like it's something we all need to think about. So curly hair, makeup, and death, yay. Okay, well, yeah. Hope you guys don't unsubscribe because of this video. Bye.